Now we're
No.
Oh, now we're live. Hey, welcome to Screenwriters Speak. Fine.
Let's all talk in a falsetto voice now.
Or a really deep one.
Yeah, use your opposite voice. Well, hey, as you can see, it's a lively crew here today at Screenwriters Beat. We're coming at you with episode 53. It's Loglines Revisited.
Are you serious?
53.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, please welcome my very talented panel of working screenwriters. I'm going to say your name and you tell me what you're working on right now. Welcome Tom Fryer, who is our new irregular.
Yes.
I'm just going to call you a regular.
Okay, I'm working on figuring out what that means.
Well, Tom is nice enough to fill in today for Nicole Jones-Dion is filming a movie. She's directing a movie.
That's right.
Yeah.
But you're always welcome, and we're happy to have you.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you, and I'm happy to be here.
What kind of cool, fun things? I mean, we just did talk about that, but it's a whole new show. So what's
okay? Well, there's all kinds of fun things going on. As Eric said in the last episode, if you were tuning in, you should have multiple projects going on, and you know they should be in different stages of development. And so you can always say, pull something out. If somebody says, "Do you have anything like this?" So you know, I've got several things in the works right now. One is working on a new thing with a new comedy with Anne that we're just starting to put together. We're trying to make that somewhat contained, so that it'll be because we have another one that's kind of a little bit of a big budget. It just expanded, it had expanding gases in it, and you just wanted to go.
We
big.
went for it.
So,
it's a
we said, hell with it. Yeah, but it's but this one we'll keep it, and it's all takes place pretty much in one location with one other little shot somewhere else. So. And that's good. That's what that really does help you if you're trying to get something produced at that end of the market. $3 to $5 million producers constantly looking for this kind of stuff, and they don't need the studios to greenlight it. So that makes it so much easier to get them made, and they don't have as many bugs on their back biting them. So
that's cool. Yeah, that's a good one.
So that, and then I got another thing, another project with an animation studio, and that started because I pitched them something that I had for quite a while. It was actually my first script, and they said, "That's not for us. That's not what we're looking for." And I said, "What are you looking for?" Cool. And they said, "Actually, we're looking for this." And I said, "Would you mind if we took a stab at it?" And they said, "No. We're now working with a development director. We've gone past the producer and are working with the development group." And this, he's saying the budget for this is $50 million. So that's huge. So the stakes are high, and they're very, very hands-on and stuff like that. But just keep kind of working through it and go, say more about that. Why did you want to do that? And blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
That's all. Way to make it happen. I like that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, Margaret Risley, welcome back. And I know you have
Thank you very much.
Secret stuff going on. What can you tell us? What's going on?
Well, I will say that a producer and an executive producer are flying to LA with my project. So fingers crossed.
That's sweet.
Yeah.
Bravo.
Nice.
And I'm also thank you. And I'm also working on in the MSc4 class that I'm doing with Tom, the Screenwriting New Master Series, a thriller that I'm having fun with. Just need to do a little bit of rewriting, and then Tom's going to look at it for me and give me some feedback, which will be good.
Right. Yes, I mean, everybody here's an overachiever, as is Heidi Mastro Giovanni. Multiple projects, right?
It's so true. You have to have those. My focus is on prose at the moment. I'm working on editing my comedic novel that will be released later this year. I have a fabulous publisher I just adore, and a fabulous editor who I adore. And I'm also writing a collection of short stories based on the Verdine and Glenita characters in Peculiar, Missouri. So, but my prose, it will surprise no one, I think, is somewhat dialogue heavy, which lends it to adapting to stage and to screen and small screen and big screen.
Yeah. I
And
have that
stage.
problem, too.
Yes.
Stage, yeah,
And stage, sure. Why not?
Perfect. Very good. Congratulations. I love all that stuff.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Eric Ingram, I know you will not be outdone. What
Oh, hey! This is not
going on, man?
This is not a competition, okay?
Well, you know what? I was thinking about that today, and tell us what you're doing first, and then I'll share.
Oh, the
Not a
old bait
competition,
hook and switch. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. No, I got you. No, I got you. Okay, no. Well, first of all, welcome to episode 53. Is that right?
Yeah.
53. Okay. I'm so blessed and honored to be here, and I mean that. I'm not just saying that because you making me say it, and I'm just. I am presently, like I said, there's a couple of things that are under wraps, so I will be happy to let you know as soon as I can. But there's a couple of those, and then I myself have finished probably about 4 scripts in the past 2 months, maybe.
Bravo.
Yeah.
That's the way to do
These
it.
ideas.
Yeah.
If you know the ideas that have been hovering for a while, and you finally just say, "I'm doing it right now." That's all. It's not like I have a plethora of ideas. It's just the ones that I should have written, I've written now. That's all.
That's good. Well, yeah, I'm that way too. Look, congratulations. I love to hear that
awesome.
everybody is so active and busy. And that was the thing that hit me today. Tom and I've got a comedy script coming. I'm working on a contained horror film, and I'm also writing some short novella-sized books, which are I look at them as like if they're TV episodes. They're very heavy dialogue as well, but they are stories and they're mysteries. They're little mysteries.
Nice.
So I was thinking how I was reading about mastermind groups. Have you heard of mastermind groups? And they're kind of a community that people belong to, and they all share ideas and to help each other advance and do better. They're like, they could be marketing, whatever they are. But I realize that we are like a mastermind group for each other. We really are.
We are. Yeah.
I know that I'm constantly inspired by you guys to do more and do better and look at things differently. And I hear that from you guys too.
Yes.
Right?
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
hopefully that works.
It's encouraging. It is. Like whether other people are succeeding or things are going well, we're all succeeding. Whether you go where things go well for you or where things fall over, it's all a process, all a journey that we're all going on. And hearing everybody's problems and successes, it's great. It's encouraging to see that other people are going through the same sort of thing that we are. So it's good. Thank you.
Well, and I think it inspires our audience as well because at least I get that from the feedback, that it's great to hear some tips and it's great to hear some things that make you think in a different direction. And hopefully that will be today as well because we had mentioned before there's a big the Great American Pitch Fest is at the end of this month. I believe it's on the 22nd of May. And there are always opportunities to pitch at festivals. A lot of festivals will be coming up a little bit later. Austin Film Festival's one, big one. And Loglines are important. They're an important thing for pitching, whether in person or in email. I think they're kind of the bread and butter of email pitching. So we're going to revisit it. We've done it before. And I know before, and I'll have to reference it so you guys can go back and listen to our logline. That was when we did our logline example that we made from scratch, which was really bad. But it inspired a story that Margie and Eric are writing with another.
And James. Yep.
Yeah.
So hey, good can come out of the worst logline. So
that's right.
Here.
It's the idea behind it, isn't it?
Right.
Yeah.
The essence.
So we won't talk about the basics of Loglines. If you want to know the basics, I'll reference the other episode and you can check it out. What I wanted us to do is to share some of the Loglines that we've had the most luck with, our own Loglines, and sort of see why, if you know why they worked or why they didn't work. Anyone want to volunteer to go first, or I'll just pick Eric because I always.
I love that.
After a while, I have to pick Eric just because he doesn't like me.
No,
It's a thing now. It's a thing.
how about this? I'll do one, and then we'll go.
Yeah,
then we'll go around, and then I have another one. I have two. So, but I want to do just one at a time. That way, let other people get into. So this is actually the one. This is the NASCAR one that has been optioned 4 times. It's called Trading Paint. If anyone's in the NASCAR, that's when the cars are rubbing against each other. That's the phrase. Right, Trading Paint.
Good title.
Right. Action drama. Sports action. I try to keep it to 2 words. So it's a sports action drama, but action drama. And then Logline is a cocky inner city drug transporter with extraordinary driving ability must rise above his criminal past in order to become NASCAR's first black champion.
Cool.
Oh, nice.
Very good.
Cool.
Setting, know who the protagonist is. I like that. No wonder you've optioned it 4 times.
Just for that. I send that out. That comes back with positivity all the time.
Very cool.
Sure.
Brilliant. And is there why haven't they made it yet? That should be made.
Yeah, well, it's one of the things I can't talk about is someone that just read it and they want to send it to. They got Chinese people. That's why I said this.
Neat.
This one just came. I sent this as a sample to actually someone else in the PSA who's doing like script coverage for another producer. He read it, sent it right to his producer. The producer called me.
Nice.
Wow, love that.
You know
That's a good one.
So that's kind of.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Cool. Oh, by the way, I just looked it up. Our other Logline show is episode 31. If anyone make note of that, episode 31. You can pause this and go there. But Heidi, how about you? What can you share with us?
This is actually there are elements of comedy, but shockingly, this is not entirely a comedy. It is a movie that my brother-in-law and I are adapting from a play, and it's called Fight Night, and it says, 3 boxing fanatics struggle to survive a crazy night of class warfare and racial tension as they drink, snort, and stumble their way across the Big Apple in a desperate bid to be part of sports history at the legendary matchup between Sugar Ray Leonard and Marvin Hagler.
Oh, wow. A historical twist to it, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I think that's a good logline. It gives a nice blend of the humor and the history. I can see how it's not a total comedy.
Yeah.
Fun. What kind of feedback have you gotten from that? Have you gotten
just very, very positive. Really, we've gotten a lot of script requests, and it's out there doing a lot of stuff. I think it's going to be a little bit more expensive. It's New York City. I mean, I know you can work around that. It's not a small budget film.
Right.
It's going to be at a minimum. It's going to be a mid-budget. Minimum is mid-budget. So we'll see how that plays out. But it has the roles for actors are really, I think. Yeah, here I am. I won't wrench my arm out. I think the roles are really strong for actors. So.
Right.
I'd like to hear that.
Yeah.
Cool. Very good one. Margie, what would you like to share?
Okay. I'll give you the log line for my Philippines one. It's called Wounded. An ex-Marine pilot races to the Philippines to haul her estranged brother home and save her little girl's life, but they're kidnapped for ransom and must escape or die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's a cool one, and that's the one that somebody's got the producer on taken. Oh, very good.
Yeah.
Very good. Well, and I how much of that? Well, that's based on anything from?
No, it's actually as part of the MSc course, you go through a series of coming up with high concepts, and you do. I can't remember how many it is. Hundreds, isn't it, Tom?
Hundreds.
You have to come up with at least 10. I think it's 10 a day or something like that. I ended up with over 500 of them. Yeah.
12 a day.
12. Yeah, 12. Yeah.
Yeah, you ended up with about 200. And this was on the on the third day of this process, I came up with this idea of, like having this sick little girl, and like the pilot has to save the brother, or like the brother has to. The main thing that I came up with was that the kidnappers want, if the ransom's not met, one will have to behead the other. So of course the pilot needs to save the brother to save a daughter, and the brother needs to save the pilot to get home. So it's a dilemma.
Yeah,
so that's where that came from. Right. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I like those kind of dilemmas.
A three-way dilemma.
A three-way dilemma.
Yeah.
Woo! We love three-way.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I'm getting choked up over that one, Tom. So Tom, good one, Margie.
Oh, that's really good.
Really good. Really good.
Well, hard act to follow, but I think that the thing to point out, and if you go back and see the other episode, the critical thing is that the log line, it's short, it's one sentence, it tells you who's got to do what and why and what's in their way, and sometimes give a little problem that they've got in doing it, and it also makes you go, I haven't seen that before, and I kind of see the movie. I think I can picture that. And all those that I just heard, I was like, wow, I could not only could I see the movie, I've never seen it, and I'd like to go see it. So yeah, so my latest one, the Shaolin Werewolf, which hasn't been marketed yet, just revised the log line since you saw it, Mark. Shaolin Werewolf, a true story. It's an action. In 19th century China, a reclusive kung fu master, shunned for his fur-covered face, must lead a band of monks into battle against the imperial army and treacherous general to save the emperor and country.
Oh.
So this, you can see, it's a flawed character. You can see who he's against, and the stakes are high. Yeah.
Yes.
Very good.
Yes.
Yeah, I a lot of times, if you can put in that based on a true story, you've almost got them right off the bat.
Yeah.
It's a good hook. Yeah, I had one that I pitched at one time, and it was I'd gotten it read by the actor John Corbett. So I was like, John Corbett said this is a great script.
Wow.
I got a lot of requests for that one, but I didn't.
Yeah.
It was too much like something else that was out. So for mine was a comedy called Frankendude.
I love that.
I wrote this a long time ago. So it's a college whiz kid can't let his brother die, so he turns him into Frankenstein.
Wow.
I got a lot of reads on it, but like I said, I wrote it a long time ago. I don't think it was that great of a script, but I got a lot of reads on it, so it was a good log line.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah. Really good log line.
Thank you. It was fun. I also think a lot of times with a script like that, you'll get a comment that, oh, no one's doing Frankensteins right now, or no one's doing vampires right now. In that case, hold on to it. I didn't at the time. I just moved on to other ideas. But because I pitched the heck out of this. This was back in my early ink tip days, and I pitched it to death. Everyone had heard it. They're like, what? Yeah, made that yet? But, if you have a good log line like that, maybe go back, and then I should have revised the script. But
you still can, sweetie. You can still do
that. I can. I don't know. That's something else, man. If I have a 2-year-old script, even though if I had a good log line for it, I can't go back. I've improved too much, is my theory.
You had to get over that real quick.
No, well, I'd rather move on. I have better ideas now, better stuff.
Well, I mean, I get you. I hear what you say. There's like my very first one. I don't know. I guess I was kind of lucky. My very first one came in second in a Paramount Pictures Eddie Murphy contest, writing contest.
Wow.
Right? It's kind of like the whole. It's in the vein of the Naked Guns and the Top Secrets and that kind of screwball spoof kind of thing. And so, and I didn't have no idea, and I was just literally free. I was in a writing class for an elective as a senior in undergrad, but I had no idea. I didn't know what writing script was. I just know I'm silly and I can make stuff funny. Really, I'm being honest. It's really true. But that one, like, I can go back. I can see all the spoof movies out, and I'm like, I have a little heart. I could just update it, you know, and add my skills that I have now. But I'm never going to be like, oh, I can't go back. I put work in that. That's blood right there.
That's blood.
Well, when the idea is solid, and you know, when you've applied the skills that you've got now to that idea,
exactly right.
What you can do.
Well, in my defense, it was a first script, and nobody was saying this is great. I don't want to be that person who's writing the same script forever. You know.
That's different. I get that part. I get that part.
So I needed to move on.
I got you.
Hey, guess what? Someone's watching us live, and this is Jeff Rose. Hi, Jeff. He says, I've often heard there needs to be a clear antagonist in a logline. In some that I've read, I don't always see one. What do you guys think about that?
Not true.
Your protagonist
you need to know the conflict.
the obstacles.
If there's no, sorry.
Go ahead, sweetie.
You need to know what the conflict is. So if there's no antagonist, you've got to have a strong conflict there, whether you actually name specify the antagonist or not. It's got to be inherent in the logline,
Yeah, like, well, in my Frankenstein one, the brother is the antagonist because he gets turned into Frankenstein. So I don't know how explicit it is in that, but
you need the obstacles. What's
the obstacle?
Your protagonist is going to have a problem that has to get solved, or else are you watching a movie? Yeah,
but sometimes, Eric, don't you think that the antagonist doesn't have to be there if this great hook is there and makes them ask, oh, I want to see what that's about.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. Yeah. I think unless it really gets to me, it's really about what the story is. So if it's a person versus a person, that's one thing. So a person versus an event versus person versus a system, right? That's the antagonist part. Is the obstacle. Who's gonna fight back against it? I know what he's asking, and I really don't. I agree. The ones that I read, the best ones, they allude to something. Somebody's gonna stop them, and rather than, and I don't know if we're gonna get into this, but there's a thing that I keep seeing where people want to put all these modifiers in front of every person in person in the log line, a sexist firefighter, and I'm like, hold. The log line, what's so important? You know why I like Heidi's log line so much? I know what the story is, and I think it's more than 25 words. I'm not 100% sure, but I got the story.
Okay.
Yeah, right? Yeah. So what's the story, right? And then when you're ready to pitch, you can start narrowing down words.
Embellishing.
The problem, the people's log lines are so thin. You're like, so what's the story about? Mm-hmm. Like, I don't really know. Because you're trying to get it down to 20 words, and but those words don't tell me what the story is.
Right.
Yeah.
So never mistake brevity for clarity. That's
a tagline for a log line.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But sometimes the modifiers, I agree with you in some cases, and I've seen that. If sexist firefighter, if the sexism doesn't have something to do with what he's got to change or what he's got to, or what he's got to overcome or whatever.
Right.
But the critical thing is if the modifier has something. I've got one that's about a blind judoka who ends up going to the Olympics. I mean, that's really important.
That's
really important.
But
but if it starts saying he's short or all these things, that's ridiculous. Doesn't have anything to do with the story.
Well, also to get back to what Jeff was saying about having the antagonist, as we did in episode 31, write that log line with all that stuff in there, and then you can see what you could drop and then you test it. You test these on people. My log line that actually got reads wasn't the first one. I tested it a lot, as you have said. Don't be afraid to change up your log line and see what works best.
God, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right. And once you get it,
go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead, Margie.
Sometimes you can suck the essence. The interesting parts out of the story by making it too brief. Sometimes you do need that extra little bits and pieces. And 2 sentences, you know, like yes, I try for 1, but if it's not going to work in 1, use 2. If the you know, like a simple story, sure, but when there's a complex story, you cannot always distill it down to just that 1 sentence without losing too much of it.
True.
But that's not a license.
Or confusing.
You know, put everything in the log line. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Tom, did you have something?
Well, I was going to say that it's still on topic, but it's one of the benefits I get out of a log line, other than as a sales tool, of course, and to sort of force your clarity and stuff and your focus, is to go back to it later and go, am I still there? Once you nail that essence, as Mark says, then we go back. I mean, we did that once, and it did a complete turnaround.
We did that for Warpaint.
And yeah, we had basically.
And we did that for the current one.
And we went back and looked at it and went, this isn't it. This isn't. Throw it out and start over, and you got to be okay to do that, because the essence, when you nail that essence, when you nail that log line, that's what you're going to be writing to the whole time. You want you want it so unassailable, you know, in terms of communicating the idea, as Mark says, that it's just it's just bulletproof. And then you.
And I liked what Margie said. Margie said that, you know, you don't have to have the shortest, tightest log line. It's okay to have a longer one. And it also depends what you're using it for. Like if I'm doing an email, I've got something between a log line and a one page. I really do. Want to know more. Yeah. And if I'm pitching in person, I usually have a start that kind of hooks them, and then I finish off with something that clarifies it if they seem interested. You know.
Yeah. That log line that I gave for Wounded and the concept, it was actually the concept that I presented to the producer, and she jumped on that, not the log line. So if you know, there is a difference between the concept and the log line. Maybe that's something that we can discuss.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So how many of you tried to get just the concept across the clearest?
Yeah.
It can work for sure if it's a really strong concept. In fact, that's what makes, you know, if you've got a unique concept, that's what makes it different. Like Eric's NASCAR one. The unique thing about that was the first Black American to race in NASCAR. You know, that's the thing. The concept is king, really. And if you can get that in the log line, even better.
Yeah. And usually if it is that strong a concept, like the one you just mentioned, you just pitched it, Mark, using about 4 or 5 words. And it wasn't really the brevity of the words, it was the uniqueness of the idea. Wow, I want to know more about the first Black guy to race NASCAR. What's that all about? So it had a hook in it, and that's the important.
Yeah. Like if I was pitching Liar Liar, I'd say I've got a story about an attorney that can't lie for 24 hours.
Yeah,
you know, exactly. That's the concept, and then they're like, "Oh, I like that," and then you tell them that Steve, he could lose his hand and all that.
Yeah, what the stakes are and all that.
Right. So the one that is they're just being read right now. So here's let me get another one.
Okay.
It's called. No, I'm gonna tell you why, because it's right. It piggybacks what we're talking about. It's called Homeschool High. Obviously, it's a comedy. It is a bullied freshman's decision to be homeschooled by his quirky family in order to escape a senior jock's torment backfires when the jock enrolls in his homeschool.
Wow.
Now, every time I've said that, that's the same reaction that people get.
Yeah, people laugh.
That's what you want.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and the reason why I said let me read it right. And here's exactly why. Because if your words don't make people see the movie in their minds, you're wasting their time.
Exactly.
And you know, that's where the concept is different than the log line.
Exactly.
That they see the movie with the concept. A log line, you're like going, oh, there's this guy and he's fine, this guy and they're here.
Exactly. Right.
Yeah. If you do it right.
Right. That's very, and that's why. And it was so when you guys were just saying that you wrote whatever the ones you're about to write for budgetary reasons. It's the same reason I wrote this one, because all of my comedies are 15 and up. Like I just go, Mr. First Lady is, and you read that, that's up there, right? That's what I usually write. But I needed a bridge comedy, like 3 million, somewhere in there. So it's a contained everything that happens at the homeschool. So it's a contained comedy, right? That was the whole point. Yeah. And that's how when Margie sent that message out, that's exactly what he was looking for. Really, he didn't say contained, but he's like 1.5 million. I'm like, that's contained, buddy. You bet. you're not doing much. Exactly, right?
Yeah. Not a lot of location switches.
No, exactly, right? So
homeschool. Sometimes that can be such a idea starter, because you say, okay,
exactly.
You've got a crucible. You got a crucible. Exactly. You got all these people pinned in one little area. So stuff's going to happen.
Exactly.
Well, it's smart for all writers to do that too with your own stuff. You can't have every script be really expensive.
No. Exactly.
No.
That's really true, and that's why. But that's why. I mean, the log line. I always think like some people. I know in one of our MSc 1 class when we were done, like we're still talking and helping each other with scripts and stuff. So we still talk every week and all that kind of stuff. So we have where we do the log lines, and then there was a point where people was like, well, I can't go on until I get the log line. I'm like, what?
Oh, no.
You got the idea.
Get the idea. Write the one page. Write the one page. We also did the movie and mini movie treatment style thing. We did that. Yeah. And then go write it. And then at the end, when you actually know what the story is, then go back and fix the log line. It's just
you can do it that way.
That actually is one of our Q&As, so I might as well fold it into the whole discussion. It's about when do you write the one page, and which I'd agree. When do you write the log line? And I would say let's talk about that. But also, they're not in stone. Go back and see episode 31 that was the start of the log line. Make it bad, but you can adjust it. Get it all in there in some version. Right. Mark,
who do you want to go first? It depends on the story, like how you come up with the story. You may come up with a character that you want to put into a difficult situation, or you may come up with a difficult situation that you want to find the perfect character for. So it just depends how you're going to develop the story, and I think it changes for each person each time. But now that we've learned this Chris So's mini-movie method, it does help to really get the structure right, and then you can, one sentence for each mini-movie gives you the structure. It virtually gives you a one page, and from that you can virtually write a log line. But, sometimes I just want to play with the idea first and come up with a log line before I come up with a story.
Exactly, right.
So, it changes. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, changes. Yeah, Eric?
Yeah, I think it's so. I mean, everyone works differently. So that's the first thing. Figure out how you work. That's first. Okay. But never a slave to anything. Meaning, I'm not a slave. I gotta have the log line first. I can't do this until I do a one page first. The NASCAR thing. I went to my first NASCAR event in North Carolina, and I had just the people I went with. They told me to go stand by turn 4. North Carolina is a super speedway, which means they get up to 200 miles an hour. He said, just go down there and stand on turn 4. And I did 2. And when they did 2 laps, the second lap they're all the way open. They're already open at 200. And when they go past me, it went through my body. I was like, oh my God. I was hooked, right?
You felt it.
I was hooked. I went back to my hotel room that night, did the outline, and started writing it 2 days later.
There you go. So you didn't have your log line yet.
I didn't have it. I just knew. I just know the kid needs to start in the city, in the urban setting. Yeah. He got to be able to drive, because that's how NASCAR started, driving moonshine on the back roads of Carolina and all that kind of stuff. So he got to be a drug dealer. That's really how it just boom, boom, boom. Write it.
Good.
I'll figure all the other stuff out later.
There's no wrong way. I mean,
Exactly.
if
Right.
you get it down on the page, you
Right.
get it down on the page.
Right.
It does help to have a logline. Like if you can come up with a logline first, it does help to focus the story, planning it.
Right.
But
Absolutely.
like Tom and Anne were saying, you know, you start with one, the story changes, you change your logline. So it's a good tool, but again, as Anne said, it's not set in stone.
Right.
Yeah, well, with working with a partner like with Tom, you need to be on the same page, and that's a good way to get there.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I think what happens, I mean, it's like, think of it like blueprints, right? So you're not going to build a house without blueprints. I'm sorry. I mean, I don't know who could just, by the seat of their pants, build a house. Not to say it's never been done. I'm just saying, I don't know about it.
One of the little pigs was probably...
Well, it was a little pig, right? It was a little pig, right? It was,
there were some little pigs.
Mr. and Mrs. Pig. Anyway.
The three little pigs.
Right. No, I got you. No, you're right. But I'm just saying, the fact that you have these ideas and they're tools is really important, because you got to know, sometimes you got to let the story, the concept work with you. Sometimes the logline is going to fall right in place. Sometimes the title is like, that's the title right there.
Well,
right? Sometimes
Tom, that's us.
Right,
I like a good title. You can see the movie.
Yeah. Right, exactly.
But you don't always get that.
Sometimes the character takes over and you're like, I just want to write this character. I don't even know where this is going to go.
Now, Heidi, you come from an acting background, your comedy acting and all that. You come out of character a lot.
Yeah. I think also those, you know, what do they say? Take an acting class so you can hear the actors saying, you know, the dialogue in your mind. I want to just agree with what everyone said. It's a great tool. The one page is a great tool. The logline is a great tool. And find out what works best for you and do it when it most inspires your writing. I have found that I've really liked getting a one page or a two page or whatever it is, and when I have the story and the beats of the story in my mind, and then have friends and colleagues who you really respect and say, could you just read this? Could you just tell me if there's something in this story that I'm missing that doesn't flow or that doesn't work or that makes you wonder? And it's kind of a good way to check your blueprints, as you said, Eric, to make sure that they're sound before you get into the actual hammering and nailing. But whatever time, do your one page whenever it works best for you, whenever it motivates you to enjoy your writing and to move forward.
Right.
You know, I will say that if you start with a one page, they're going to be very heavy in Act 1. You'll find out that you're mostly writing Act 1 in your one page. So just be aware of that.
Right. The setup, setup is all, man.
And obviously you're going to have to change it because you don't want your one page to be all about the setup.
No.
Yeah.
But I think also have a paragraph, right? Have a paragraph, have a one page, and then have a 2 or 3 page.
Yeah.
Because I'm learning that, I mean, people just keep asking for different things, so I just kind of you just kind of start stretching it out, right? But like very rarely, the one page is enough to say, hey, okay, I need to know a little more. Like it's usually enough for the one page. But I think after the more interested they get, they pop the 3 page.
Yeah, but I'm not going to write that until someone asks me to write that. That's not.
Well, I mean,
you got a lot.
I'm just saying.
You're ready. I'm like, oh yeah, okay. Funny. Tom, what were you?
Oh, I don't usually write one pages. I find that's the summary when I've got the script pretty much done, and it's usually producers that ask for them or managers who don't want to take the time to read an entire script.
Right.
When you think about how busy they are and how many things they've got to do in a day, they've got to read, and and you've got an audience with them, and they say, "Send me a one page." Wow, cool, because that's a better opportunity than a log line. Title to get it across. So then I'm like, okay, and what I try to do is I try to write it almost, we've done together, try to make it almost like a query letter. Put the hooks in there. Don't be sure don't get so concentrated on the the house building
details.
that you forget what the sell part of it is, because that's what a one-page has got to market you. If it's got to market the script the best way it can, so put those wonderful hooks in there that are going to make them go, oh my God, I've got to read the whole thing, or I've got to get my reader to read.
Yeah, and do you guys include the ending?
I don't.
No, I don't.
One page,
Not
yes.
in a one
Oh, not
page.
the log line, no.
No,
The
but
long
on
page,
the
yes.
one page, I think you should include the ending.
Yes. Yes.
I do.
Oh, hint
I do.
at it, yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't say, and they lived happily ever after Joan kills Bill. You know, I don't do that, but you got a sense of it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, you got to give them a sense of the movie.
Yeah, they need to know where it's going.
From the one page, yeah.
Right.
Right. Anybody want to add something? No, we're kind of at the end of our show here.
Wow.
We've covered it. This was pretty cool. Hopefully everyone's gotten something out of hearing some log lines that have worked for us. There's others that Tom and I got some good ones we can't share. They're under wraps.
Well, another show.
Yeah, it's like how much when do you give out log lines? I mean, obviously you give them out when they're fresh to producers, but how much do you, I mean, I don't post a log line on social media.
Oh, no.
No way.
Yeah.
No way.
I do think you should protect your concepts to some extent.
Yes.
Right.
You guys agree? Yeah.
I usually like to picture the people who aren't in the business in a conversational manner and tell them what it's about. They're like, oh, either it's ooh or like, oh, like, oh, okay, I need to go work on that. Cause that
or their eyes glaze over. And
yeah.
Well, the log line's good for what they call an elevator pitch, right?
Exactly, yeah.
The elevator pitch. It's like, tell me really quick, what's it about? Okay, cool, yeah. Yeah.
See, I pitched my husband, and his eyes glaze over really easily. If he understands, then I know I'm onto something.
I got to move. I got to move real quick. So sorry.
Okay. All right. Well,
keep going.
We can hear you. We just can't see you.
Yeah, it's okay. I'm sorry. I'll be right back in a second.
I see a radiating avatar. Where you?
Oh, there we go. How about now?
You look a little blue still.
Blue. Why are you so blue, Eric?
I know. What happened?
What happened to your neck?
I can't see you all. I can't see you all.
Well, no wonder. Your head's not attached to your body.
Well, we'll let Eric say goodbye last if he comes back. I'd like to thank everyone.
All right, here we go. All right, here we go. There we go. All right.
No, you're not here.
No.
I'm not?
No.
Oh, that's funny. Wow. All right. Good.
We'll hang out. It's fun. So
I'll be here. Go ahead.
You'll be here. We're gonna say goodbye. If you guys have a quote or a saying, something motivational for us to get out there and keep writing. Tom, I'll let you go first.
Okay, mine's from Winston Churchill.
Oh, nice.
Never, never, never give up.
Yeah.
What was the last part?
Yeah.
Give up.
Give up.
Never,
Yay.
never give up.
Thank you. And thanks for being here, man. It's good to see you.
Tom!
Yay!
Yeah.
Martha Risley, also thank you for being here. What are your words of wisdom?
This is from Truman Capote. Failure is the condiment that gives success its flavor.
I love that.
Nice.
Very good one. Thank you. Heidi Mastro Giovanni, thank you for being here.
Thank you, Anne, for bringing us together. Thank you all. Tom, thank you. It's going to be a little bit longer. It's from one of my favorite books. I can't recommend it highly enough. Writing from the Inside Out by Dennis Palumbo, who wrote, among other things, that wonderful screenplay for My Favorite Year, one of my favorite movies. A little bit long, but I think it's worth it. In the end, there's just you and your writing. As screenwriter Frederick Raphael said, when defining what he meant by work, it's having pages in the evening that weren't there in the morning. You and your writing, that's all there is. That's all there needs to be. So go, write.
Yeah.
Oh, excellent.
Amen.
Love motivational.
Yeah.
Eric,
Yeah.
we're
You still can't see me?
No.
That's so weird.
Happy you're with us. What are your words of wisdom?
Mine is, regardless of whether or not you write something or sell something or option something, if you wake up and all you want to do is write, you're a writer.
Yay!
Awesome. That's
Very good.
Very good.
Is that original,
Very
Eric?
true.
Who's that?
I just made that up as I was talking.
Wow.
Cool. Turning blue does too?
I don't understand. This is so, like, I can see you all, and my face is there, but you all can't see me. That's so
No,
weird.
we can't see you. Well, maybe
All
it'll
right.
show up. Sometimes these things show up once it transfers
Right.
over to
Oh,
YouTube.
right.
You were there for the what counted.
Right, that's just weird. That's so weird.
So thank you, Eric. Thank you so much. Mine was simple. It's like everybody's going to have a bad day, but move on. Keep writing.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
So guys,
Write about your bad day.
Right. Hey, yeah.
True.
Everything is copy.
Yeah.
That
Yes.
comes from
Nora Ephron, right?
Laura Ephron. Thank you. Did you see the documentary? It was really
Loved it. I recommend it really highly. You too, Anne, right?
on
Loved it.
HBO, yeah, I saw it. That's what I said. Everything is copied, so that meant she took from her life all her great stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You should
Mhm.
Great
yeah.
documentary. Great documentary.
Yes. Well, guys, thank you for being here for another episode of Screenwriters Speak. We appreciate it, and appreciate all our great fans. And sorry we can't see you, Eric, but we know you're smiling and waving.
We love you.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
All right.
Screenwriters Speak.